me I'm late. I am not. Hello everybody and welcome to the weekly Steelchair for some fun games and reviews. Or in Catherine's case, Daniel Garcia discussions. Pain. But we'll get through it. Hope everyone is doing well. It is a travel review, so you know how it goes. We have fun. We don't lie about it. Francine should be part of AEW. Why? Francine's finished. Even she'll admit in her own eyes she's finished. But we have 3 shows to review and some chaos. Certainly a lot of that. I don't get it. There shall be no other streams but this one. It's an idea. I mean, I agree. It is an idea. The problem is Francine can't go anymore. Alright, Stampede, how's it going? She's never going anywhere else, though. Let's be real. She knows herself. Like, her time is... It's over. So there's no point. There's no point even advocating for it. But there's a lot from where it began. I know you do, Jonathan. I know you do. Okay, so where do we begin? Well, there's only one way to define it. We do this right. We do this fairly. We do this equally. We spin the wheel. Mickie James won't go back to TNA. It's over. Speedball is a great signing for AEW, 100%. Let's see. What have we got? And hold on, I need to remove SmackDown. Hold on. There we go. Let's see. Who are we starting with? Okay. I mean, it's quite obvious, isn't it? I mean, this is not my decision. So we're doing it in date order. Okay. We're going in order of shows then. So TNA, Ring of Honor, and I did not rig the wheel. I can't rig something I don't have control over. But let's do this. So, yeah, we're going to start with Impact. Let's start with Impact. And let's also be angry. What do I think was the weakest show this week? SmackDown. Without a doubt, SmackDown. What's up, Lark Bark? How are you? Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. No debate from me. Exactly. I mean, if you want to describe SmackDown, describe it like this. It's okay. I mean, to be fair, Catherine, you were otherwise detained. Like, there's absolutely no need for you to apologize whatsoever. Ever. I mean, this is what I think is SmackDown. SmackDown can take a tombstone. Oh, this is I don't think he's signed. I think it's purely the War Dogs are going on tour. The War Dogs are going traveling. I didn't watch. I saw the match, the rain on Cage Rain. See, this is the thing. Don't. I wouldn't take cage matches rating for it. Take the eye test because when you look at cage match ratings, they can all be miscued for good things that are also rated very badly because of bias. Get get the eye test. The eye test is far more important. And by that point, you probably need to bleach your eyes watching that episode of SmackDown. To be to be fair, there is no ECW wrestlers anymore that actually succeeds except for RVD. And RVD tried AEW. Yeah, he'll drop a recliner on you. So TNA did start this week with its atypical video packages, reaffirming that former world champion Nick Nemeth has been suspended for 4 weeks. Coincidence he will return at Sacrifice um, over a pointless super kick on Santino Morello, but that equals suspension apparently. So he got in the way, he got super kicked, Nemeth got suspended. Also on the show, Tessa Blanchard is advertised to wrestle. Certainly come to that. Perhaps. He's been carrying that company for a while, to be fair. There's times where you can enjoy it, and there's times where you really can't lark bark, so I don't blame you. Truthfully, I do not blame you at all. The Rascals are in action against Tyson and Tyreek. Masha Slamovich is not scheduled, but she does make an appearance. Rosemary versus Li Ying Lee. JDC versus the best young British wrestler under the age of 21, Leon Slater, is in action. And the weirdest debut and return you'll ever see happened as well on this show. So we'll certainly come to that. I mean, if you've got to work with a dork like David LaGreca, I would need time off from matches as well. Yeah, he is. He's just injured at the minute. Annoyingly, because they need a big powerhouse. I missed TNA when they had Scott Steiner. The show was hilarious. Yeah, Scott is wicked. But that's it. So again, as we've said, this is how the show kicks off. Joe Hendry's in the ring doing his encore concert presentation. Uh, it ends with the Colognes making their debut, which is now. Don't get me wrong. This is a legacy family. this is a legacy family, so I'm not going to criticize this too much. But this is ridiculous. I'm sorry, but there's no interest in me personally from getting the colognes. It's weird. Like this one doesn't make sense. Like I don't understand bringing in the colognes. But what I do agree with now, excuse one half of this banner, but the second half is very important. You bring in what seemed to be Ring of Honor go-to appearance, Elijah. Now, was he signed to Ring of Honor? I don't know. He was in the vignettes for the Righteous, but he shows up in TNA, which is bizarre. And this is a live show as well. I was very surprised by that. I mean, that the correct word by Tom Hannafant's surprise. It was a really bizarre surprise, but I concur with Catherine. I do like this. I like Elijah. I think he's underrated. I think he needs to be used properly. He wasn't for quite some time. When WWE tried to make him like Rick the Body Martel, it didn't feel right. I like it when he's got the rough case beard and he's playing his music, but he's still hitting bombs. Like he comes in and his first match is a main event. Like that is excellent. It should have been Joe Hendry versus Elijah in the main event because this is not living up to what he said. He wants to defend the title every single week. That's 2 weeks in a row, brother. You want to lie to another Scotsman? I don't think so. These are the types of TNA pickups, low and mid performer. Yeah, they should be aspiring for better. But they should be. And that's true, he does have that. The guy says, I think he has more upside than AEW because of the WWE partnership and a dream match will probably a bigger deal. But what dream matches? Like, when you look at it, Boba Femi versus Moose. Is that a dream match? Perhaps. A dream match is like Hammerstone versus Brock Lesnar. That ain't gonna happen. See, I wondered if he was or not. So it felt like a waste. Like that feels like a waste. I don't know. Is Drew McIntyre the best Scottish wrestler ever? Yes. %100. Look who's arrived to deliver the ripcord to his next. Hello everyone, let's see his name. He isn't the best Scottish wrestler. He's probably the most entertaining, but no. Catherine, are you? I know you're joking because even you know that Finn Balor's not Scottish. Elijah might be there for a short time to face Joe. Maybe, but I don't. The weird thing is, I don't think he's going back to WWE. I don't think he is. Mhm. If you look at Scottish wrestlers, most of the time it's women. It's mostly women that are known than men. That's what makes it more difficult. Grace Irish, maybe. Mm, between him and Sheamus. In a way, yeah. His legacy still outweighs many. Not many dream matches left at TNA. Exactly. And it's painful. It's painful. That's all I'm gonna say. The match is made for the main event. Elijah and Hendry versus the Colognes tag team action. Cool, no bother. scoot the foot. We then get the premiere episode of First Class hosting their own talking session. Now, Casey Navarro has potential. Young talent, good look, works well in the ring. I don't like the upside. I don't like the upside that he's still working with AJ Francis. I don't think he is good enough at all. This is the guy that people ran away from, and TNA brought him in. It's not this doesn't work for me. You know what I mean? Like it's poor. It has there's no case to stand on unless at least Casey Navarro getting more matches. I just don't like it. You know, I think it's crap. Not just WWE, unfortunately. Yeah, to be honest here, it's not just WWE. No, Carmella just announced she's a free agent. Can you see her sign somewhere else because of the heat Corey Graves has right now with WWE? Yeah, I think that's realistic. I think she could go anywhere. The problem is no one should touch her. You bring a lot of baggage. 10 years ago, as a fan of Finn Balor, I feel the creative team failed to utilize it properly, 100%. I think you're completely spot on with that. Look at him now; he's a has been. What do you think about the ring incident with AEW? Pretty embarrassing, and any of them, I would say that for any company. You're referring to the chair situation? Yeah, that it was embarrassing. One dream match: Leon Slater versus Javon Evans. Hmm. I think another one is Masha Slamovich versus Stephanie Vaquer. That might be it. I think Jeff Hardy versus Wesley would be one for me personally. There's a reason for that, of course. But that's, like I said, there's a reason for it. Yeah, bear with me for this 2 seconds. Yeah, that one's been, that one's been. So I did skip a little bit, but that's because I want to get this. I want to get that boring segment out of the way, which again sums up what the part of TNA is: the talent they put on the mic. That's that is their weakest element. TNA, their weakest element is the promos of certain talents. Mike Bailey, AEW opinion, perfection. Are you talking about the ring for Grand Slam? I've got no issue with that at all. I think if anyone's complained about a ring, they're idiotic. I've got no complaints when it comes to a ring. They used the safest ring they could get their hands on. Says a lot when the talent are praising AEW for it, company to company. So I find it irrelevant to praise or go after a company when it comes to using a ring. You know what I mean? I don't think it's an incident at all. Oh yeah, WWE ruined that. They ruined that when they had it lost to Raw. first match, however, was fun. Now, this is where TNA is at its strongest. Young, exciting, vibrant tag team action or singles action. And the first match sums it up. The Rascals versus Tyreek and Tyson, both accompanied by Ace Austin and Wesley. The Rascals won this, of course, in exciting fashion. Executive events, of course. His hero is Jeff Hardy. He wins the match with a Swanton Bomb. Again, this was hard hitting and fast. Like, the Rascals realistically are at a weight disadvantage, but the speed, agility, and their in-ring work is superior to Tyreek and Tyson. They get the win here. I thought this was nothing short of good. To be honest, I think it was a good opener. Where I think it was a bit weak, on the other hand, was I think they've waited to the fact that they're waiting to sacrifice to make it a six man. I would have made it impromptu straight there and then. I would have had Wesley. I would have had Wesley jump in, and then it forced Ace Austin's hand, and then they just restart as a six man. But I just like that we got straight in. It was fast, hard hitting, and that Swanton Bomb is perfect. Like, I like the way the match started as well. Like, the Rascals completely played Tyreek, Tyson, and Wesley quickly with the diving move at the start of the match. It sums it up at the end of the match as well. We do get the match for sacrifice. Wesley challenges Ace Austin and the Rascals. They accept it. I like it. Good match. All round. It's a fun start. And when you go up against heavy opponents, you've got to work differently. So the Rascals, shout out to them. They're one of the best young tag teams in the world. They deserve their praise. They're getting it constantly by me because I rate them highly. Not embarrassing. You need to do dirt sheets. It's stupid to parrot children whose only bitch is a ring size. They knew it was rented because after WWE's ring got pie for that was actually really bad. Yeah, it was not too much. It was short though. I agree. Like, it was a short match, but I like the way they went through it. I think it's sacrifice they're going to lose though. I think they'll give the favor. Like, I think because it was a live episode of TNA, the Rascals went over. I think it's sacrifice they'll put the other trio over. I think they will. The good thing is there's no titles, so I've got no issue with putting them over. WrestleSuit, what exactly do they bring? He's in singles action for now. Like, he's mainly in singles, or he'll be involved with the Rascals because he's friends with them. And then he's with people who he's protecting as well. But I feel bad for him, like, not having Chris Bay around. Obviously, that injury was horrific. It does happen, but at least he's not completely lost in the shuffle. Yeah, it's TNA, but ask any questions you want. It's okay. Like, anything you want to ask about, jump in. It's okay. The reason why the first class segment as well failed is because of how they disrespected TNA legends. Like, they said that AJ Styles was going to be the first guest and then end up being himself. Like, that really angered the crowd. Like, this is a crowd that's waited years for him to return. And it actually, if you actually go back and watch this segment, it actually pissed off the Full Sail TNA crowd, which is a sellout. I can't remember the last time NXT sold out Full Sail. But yeah, it didn't just piss me off, it pissed off the TNA fan base. Up next, first knockouts match of the night, which is, as we said, is Li Ying Lee versus former knockouts champion Rosemary. Li Ying Lee wins, and she wins with Thunderstruck. Like, I like the fact that she has AC/DC as a finisher. I mean, it's cool, but this is the shit that WWE got shit on for, so I'm gonna shit on WWE for it. Can we stop giving Asian people, Asian talent stereotypical gimmicks? Like, let's be real. Can we just not have stereotypical gimmicks, please? Tony didn't have a ring ready, but he did. Like that, like he did though. I don't even watch Wrestling Soup or Wrestle Soup or Heinz Beans Soup or whatever they're called. Like, after the match, Rosemary brutally attacks Li Ying anyway. She missed to the face. Like, this is a woman who has responded really well from losing the Clockwork House of Orange rules match. She responded strongly. She's not going to be in a title match anytime soon. I think that's been ruined. But we're certainly going to get something. This was only about. This wasn't even that long. This was like 3.5 minutes. After that, 4.5 minutes, something like that. 3.5 to 4.5. It was actually underutilized for two talents. I didn't like that as well. They were rushing it. TNA never rushes women. Like for me, that actually felt like an attack on me personally as a day one fan. I want to actually see them give them more time, but that was too short. Backstage, we see Li Ying Li is being checked on by Doc Ace when we know who appears. Yeah, 4 minutes 6. See what I mean? I like her. She is really good. I just don't like the fact that she's booked like Katana from Mortal Kombat. No, we don't. Yeah, it was decent. The fact there's a live show as well gave them a little bit of confidence, but the backstage, obviously, Li Ying is being checked over by Doc Ace. Go away, he appears, and oh boy, she appears to the echelon of please fuck off. Tessa Blanchard, who, again, I've said it numerous times, the best wrestlers, annoyingly, male or female, are assholes. Like, trust me, Abu, you have seen her when I say this name in the chat. And yes, I hate her. I do. She is absolutely crap. She is the worst women's wrestler I've ever seen. She's that bad. Less said about her, the better. Tessie, Tessie, Tessie Fit Blanchard. Tessie Fit Blanchard has an absolute bitch fit because she's not being checked over to be confirmed if she is medically cleared to go. Instead, she comes out to the ring shortly after, where she makes a very aggressive promo. Put it that way, and well, the chants are reflective. Okay. I think he already did. But anyway, Tessie Fit Blanchard walks off, and out comes the revamped Northern Armory, led by Eric Young, where he says that he is ran Josh Alexander out of TNA, and he is now going to lead these men to championships. And absolutely, he will, and he should. He's the best option for them, in my opinion. So I'm happy with that. Yeah, she would have been. It was just storyline. Like it's just a storyline that she's been checked over. Hey, where is it gone? There. Yeah, she's been checked over in storyline, so it's okay. It's not that she needs packed up. She needs to stop being an asshole. Her behavior has to really change. It's annoying because she's a great wrestler. Like she is. Oh, I absolutely do hate Sean Ross. He's an absolute weapon. Young does call out Steve Macklin as well. He wants him to join him in the Northern Armory, but he does not appear. Personally, I hope not. That is true. Let's be real. Other than Masha, she's the only star in the Knockouts division. Like this is a true fact. Video package is played. Sadly, Matt, it's because Tessa's a star. She's an asshole, but she's a star. That's the worst thing. We do get a video package of that infamous confrontation from Tuesday, where Moose confronted NXT champion Obafemi, but we know what happens there because we get a no DQ match between JDC of the system versus Leon Slater. This story has been a continuation for the past couple of weeks. She's not a star, Catherine. She's not a star. This match is the best match on the card. No debate. Leon Slater is that type of talent that when you watch, you get hooked. He's like an addiction. Like he is a drug that you just want more of. And he has the coolest diving finisher, in my opinion, in pro wrestling currently. His Swanton 450. Whoa. Who is? Are you trying to say Tesla's better than what? Like Tessa Blanchard is one of the best wrestlers, but she's not better than Mercedes May. I'm not blinded by my hate. She's got zero talent. She's got no mic skills. She's just a plastic bitch. Anyway, this match does go the distance. I said the better of no. She's not even mid card, she's worse. She is what I would call OVW level. Every time that her name gets mentioned, sad song. He's brilliant. He is incredible. that Swanton 450 needs to be put in the highest praise. Like, that is how good he is with that move. Like, the transition in mid-flight from a Swanton into a 450 is impeccable. And that's through a table. He does, however, lose the match. The system get involved. Cost him the win. The Hardys come out. They get destroyed. But the whole segment ends with this moment that I'm glad for. Femi standing tall with the TNA World Tag Team Champions, the Hardys, and the future X Division Champion, Leon Slater. That is a moment. That's a moment. He is doing good business. I agree. He's underrated. Next week as well, it is announced by Santino. After the system complains to Santino Marella, they really start bitching about Obafemi appearing. Next week on Impact, it will be the Hardys and Obafemi versus Brian Myers, Eddie Edwards, and Moose. Well, that's a lie, because the Hardys actually generate numbers. And you know deep down that they're still a good tag team. Come on. Number 15 is reasonable. That was 6 years ago. She's not a better package now. She still wrestles great matches, but no, if you look at her on the mic, she is quite... What's the best way to put it? She's quite slow because she really doesn't know how to come across. Whereas Mercedes hasn't got particularly good promos, but she at least will go in and try. Tessa, I think, is quite reserved when it comes to her promos. Her matches, however, are very good. The problem is she is just an absolute asshole. She comes out, refuses to wrestle anyway because of complaining about the dock. The crowd... That's technically incorrect, but okay. We do get several chants from the fans. She's a racist. Shut the fuck up is constant, and Tessa the door, and particularly get Tessa fired. Santino interferes in her segment because she just continues to talk and talk and talk. And Santino offers her an ultimatum because she refused to wrestle. If she refuses to wrestle next week on Impact, she will be fired, to which the crowd chanted, "Please don't wrestle." Masha Slamovich comes out angry that Tessa refuses to work, and says, you know what, if she's not going to wrestle Tessa's opponent, then she'll do it. She wins very quickly. She's up against Mila Moore. She hits her with the Requiem and gets the win. To which point, Cora Fake Jugs appears, and then this is announced for Sacrifice. TNA, TNA, TNA. Why? TNA, you have no idea what you've just done. You do not give a world title match to Cora Jade. I don't care what anyone says, you do not do that. Now, I used to be a fan of Cora Jade until she went and ruined herself that much that she can't do it anymore. True, Stamps. True. The way things are going, Scott, 100%. How? They will absolutely try to get her, though. He is right, though. But I think, if anything, they'll do whatever they can. Yes, it is. So, it is announced backstage by Santino and his daughter, who's working for NXT. Cora Jade does get her title. She will get the title match at Sacrifice, the first Sacrifice in 10 years. Ryan Nemeth appears, says that Nick will obviously return at Sacrifice as well. The Elegance duo with their idiot concierge appears begging for a title match. Instead, we get a tag match where the losing tag team becomes the other tag team's personal concierges. What a way to ruin your tag team champions. That is pathetic. TNA, come on. Come on, TNA, do better with this. Moving on, main event. Long story short, Elijah got the pinfall. A beautiful tombstone pile driver by the Walking One. And it actually got a pop from the crowd. It really was. It was actually a well-worked main event. It got about. There was like the last 20 odd minutes of the show. They mentioned as a tag match. They built to that really well. And Primo, or Epico, whatever he's called now, he can still go in the ring. It's actually, he works well with his cousin. The problem is, did TNA really need the Colognes? I don't think so. It's a good match though, but there's a little bit of a missed opportunity. Don't worry, Abdul. No one in here is going to be racist. Don't worry. If anyone does try, they'll be out the door. Don't worry. I'm going to say this now. This wasn't the best TNA show in quite a while, but it's also not the weakest. But I think it really does lay off a little bit. I think it's quite. I don't think it. I don't think it was a great show. It was, yeah, it was definitely better than SmackDown. But I think it really just needed something extra special. I think Leon Slater should have had more implications. Like maybe like Leon Slater's match could have been a few. Like if he had won, then he would have got a tag team title. An X Division title shot, or Elijah would have just had a world title match. But they might be building to that, you know. the cologne still exists, yeah. I think it has something to it though. Like it was like what we said earlier on. It was just decent, and I think that actually is enough. It was not as good as the first live show of the year. I'll say that, but it will get there. It's going to build up. I think TNA will turn it around. They at least learn from their mistakes. Maybe WWE should actually try. But now, yeah, 100% Scott. They do need to bring in people with some name value. I agree with that. Both men and women. They need that pronto. Yeah, Elijah understands his role. He does. The TNA show just kind of meandered through the runtime. It did. It did. I think that's a reasonable way to explain it. Out of 10, I don't really rate shows. I gave SmackDown a 0 yesterday. I would say TNA was 6.5. I think 6.5 is okay. Elijah fits TNA better. Wasn't much for him to do in 8. I agree. I hope so too. I hope so. I think he's got the means of being a really good heel. Ring of Honor. This was this was quite the episode. You missed it. Well, I for one thought some of the action was surprising. 5.25 out of 10 is reasonable as well for me. I have got no issue with a 5.25. As long as SmackDown's still a 0. So, the rundown for Ring of Honor, we had Wheeler Yuta versus Fuego del Sol, Abaddon versus Rachel Ellering, the Outrunners Top Flight and the Von Erichs versus the Frat House and the Premier Athletes, Billy Starks versus Hyan, Commander versus Lee Johnson for the Ring of Honor World TV title, Gates of Agony versus Exodus Prime, Hechicero, Barbaro, Carver Navarro, and Soberano Jr. versus Guevara, Dark Panther, and Fuego. That is match heavy. There is a segment for Red Velvet. She does get a segment throughout the show. They should be legitimate family history. They should be bullying your tag team division. Like, they are that good. Oh, we had so much fun yesterday. Copy me, guys, with these emojis. Where's the emoji? There's only one. Be my brother. Copy me with these emojis, guys. Let's rock on. With Ring of Honor. So, Wheeler Yuta versus Fuego Sol. I mean, I think this is a truthful comment. This is Wheeler Yuta's level. Like, he's stagnating on AEW television right now. I actually think he needs to just get away and maybe do Ring of Honor for a while and just let him build himself back up for a bit. I think he is losing out. I think they were trying to find something strong for him, but I think it's just fell off a little bit. And me personally, I think even getting a win against Fuego Sol is good. He does get the win, but it's not really living up. I agree with this as well. He doesn't fit the Death Riders at all. No one in here is going to give you any racism, don't you worry. And nobody thinks you are one either. But then again, this is not me saying you are. No one's saying you're racist, also. It doesn't matter what skin color you are, you can be racist. But no one thinks you're a racist. Commanders continue to impress. He's taking the performance in the C2 and ran with it 100%. Yes, I will. Jeff Cobb would be good. Or reiterate what I said last night. Gabe Kidd. Just to clear things up, you said you respect the racist, and that's what Stam said. He didn't call you one. I think Tessa Blanchard's a great wrestler, but I don't respect her. You know what I mean? Like I'm saying the truth, but that's a reality of it. Abaddon, like, someone explain this to me, because maybe I'm just too amazing. But why is Abaddon? Exactly, because people say you can't be racist to a white person, but that is bullshit. You can be racist to anybody if you have intention to be racist. So, Lark Bark, you get me. So here's something. So, someone explain this to me, right? Because I don't know. Abaddon's gimmick is not a Ring of Honor type gimmick. Why is she in Ring of Honor? I like Abaddon's gimmick. I think Abaddon is really cool. But please explain that to me. And yeah, like, what does she bring except an undead look? I think she needs more than that. Anyway, she defeats Rachel Ellering. Long story short, the wrong result. Rachel Ellering should have won this. She's a much better talent. She has much more to offer. She's far better in the ring. Yeah, well, she's an idiot for even considering it. Tony's an idiot. He needs to stop. It's quite low bar. Oh yeah, 100%. Like, far better in the ring. She offers more work. Her timing is so much better than Abaddon. I don't think Abaddon even. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Rampage, rightly so, got packed up because it was terrible for a long time. Outrunners, Top Flight, and the Von Erichs versus the Frat House and the Premier Athletes. I think this does show one important thing. This match really echelons. The Von Erichs definitely have it. Like you can't teach that. Like, if you've got it, you've got it. You can't teach that, and they are living up. They will never be like Kevin or Eric or whatever, like, or even Kerry. But they live up to the name, and I think that is so damn important. And Top Flight, I don't see what they offer as much anymore. I think they've been replaced anyway. The Outrunners, they're a gimmick team. They're not too bad. Like, they're actually not too bad as a gimmick team. The Frat House, I'm not overly convinced. The Premier Athletes should be actually better positioned. They actually are a decent side. But, I don't know. Yeah, Layla Gray's okay. Layla Gray's okay. Who wins in a hypothetical war games, the Von Erichs or the Hart brothers? Ooh. In a tag team, in a cage match situation, the Von Erichs, I think, win. They're much more of a bruiser. If it's just a match, no cage, I would say the Hart brothers win. See you later, brother. Thank you. That's all I give around here. Catch you later, Abel. You're a top man as always. Yeah. I agree with that. But yeah, Premier Athletes push them up. Frat House, I see nothing. Von Erichs, just let them grow and grow and grow. Outrunners can do your basic duties, which is nice because they just respect the business. Top Flight, yeah, you're going nowhere, sadly. But let them contribute more. At least try and get out of a slump they're in. If they can't, then they're going nowhere anyway. But that's the making of business, I'm afraid. Billy Starks, accompanied by Athena, defeated Hyan. Simply put, Billy Starks. What more does she have to do to win a freaking title? Like, what does she need to do? Like, come on. She's too good. And Hyan is a credible opponent. Not incredible, credible. She gets it every single bloody time. We've been saying that for 2 years though. Remember, she's had a lot of title matches against Athena, and she keeps losing. At this rate, you may as well have her beat Red Velvet and put Red Velvet on AEW television. Be older. That's true. She is young. She does win this one by pinfall. It's a decent match. It's a good representation of women, this show. Apart from Abaddon, who just doesn't make sense. But it's a good showing. Mercedes doesn't need to wait till October. If Tony Khan cared about Athena on Ring of AEW television, he would have just put her on by now. Double or Nothing exists. There's nothing left for Athena to accomplish in Ring of Honor. Just put her on the main roster now. She's already set records that will never be broken. She's already done it though. Oh yeah, cleansing what the Jade record. That record means shit though. This would be a good first match though. She doesn't win the first time, but she beats her the second time. Could work. Tease it. The only thing is those cleansing records. The only thing is though is there's not much really to cleanse. At 20, she is good though. Like she's improving fast though. I think not having her, I think she can still do well with a gold. Like they gave Julia Hart a title and she's young. If you're old enough, you're good enough. But you've got to really allow it. She does actually have the right look. Her previous character was, it wasn't cut for me. Like I didn't like it at all. Suppose it's a fair shout. But I think if you've accomplished everything, what is there left to achieve? That's my only argument. That's my only argument, you know? But I like Athena anyway, no matter where she is. She's a one of a kind. A commander. Not main eventing. True. Deonna Purrazzo is your best hustler. Commander, after a big run up in recent weeks, he finally gets the opponent that I've been waiting on. That contract isn't going up for a long time though. I know, it is crazy. Like, it is absolutely crazy that she's nearly 500 matches already. But then when you look at age-wise, Natalia's at 2,000, what, 100 or something? Which is crazy. But yes, Commander, accompanied by Alex Abrahantes, or the best hype man in pro wrestling, defeated Lee Johnson, who's accompanied by E.G. Nduka. He retains the Ring of Honor World Championship. Sorry, Ring of Honor World Television Championship, sorry. Lee Johnson, he is going to be a singles champion at some point again soon. He has that feel. Like I think Commander's doing a great job as the TV champion, but I think Lee Johnson is the one that will still take the title off him anyway. I like watching him. This was fast paced. Commander really works well with guys who have got a little bit more height on them because it lets him react well. This for me was his best TV title match to date. Gates of Agony as well, following up from this. They're just an incredible tag team. They smashed Exodus Prime enough said. The main event is CMLL against Guevara and tag team opponents. Guevara is... When he comes back to AEW, that AEW roster is in trouble. That's all I'm going to say. Hechicero, he's excellent. Barbaro Cavernario, I don't see him a lot, to be fair, so I was impressed by his ability. And Soberano Jr., he's fun. You know, like he's a fun guy. He's got no... He's got nothing to reframe from. Yeah. I'm not looking for him to drop the title straight away, but I think the person he drops it to is still Lee Johnson. Hopefully not Lee Moriarty, though. WWE isn't going to offer Mercedes 3 or 4 million when her deal is up. Really drive the pay. Exactly. Exactly. We are 1 hour 6 minutes in and we've done 2 shows. Ring of Honor is a 6 out of 10. The only reason why is because I think the flow didn't help. I think Commando should have main evented the show. But I also think they're missing the trick not actually having your world champion actually appear on your show, even though it's freaking Jericho. The man doesn't even do much for Ring of Honor, which is actually quite distasteful. But we get our main event. No, they won't. Trust me, they will not do that. He does, yeah. He's their champion. He should be there. I think Fuego has something. You know, like I think he does have some. Dark Panther's good as well. I think they just need to... I don't think they need to build them up, which is good. They just need to let them go for it. Gung-ho and don't hold back. Yes. Maybe next year. I think maybe he gets another year in Ring of Honor. Sorry, my eye's just very sore, guys. Sorry. Maybe another year. I think the more important question now is, Matthew, how's your voice? How is your voice? Hechicero CMLL, I have a 20 in my 25. Oh, he's turned it around as a technical wrestler. I was going to say, if you want to review this collision with me, you're more than welcome. Matt Sydal, he's busy elsewhere. I'll be good by Wednesday. Fantastic. Well, in that case, then I will be back in 2 minutes. Just going to take a quick interval. So in the meantime, I'll let you guys look at this before I return. Ugh. Thanks everyone for looking at that. Matt Seidel's not current active. Like, he's just not active in general. Like, he's actually not doing anything at the moment in wrestling, which is actually good. Like, his recovery is good. He links in with he links in really well with yeah, that was it. Yeah, he when it comes to his injuries, he links in with Alex Shelley. So what have we got? Collision. Round 3. So we have your main event is Chris Jericho versus Bandido for the ugly version of the Ring of Honor World title. We have Harley Cameron in conversion of her defeat at Grand Slam Australia. We have The Butcher versus Gabe Kidd. The Murder Machines are in action. Quite a controversial moment that. We have the hilarity of Hologram versus Beast Mortos. It is hilarious because it was actually just crazy good. The Death Riders are up against Daniel Garcia and his Whipping Boys. We have this absolute gorgeous woman backstage. She should be somewhere else, but I'm not telling you where. And we have also Queen Aminata versus Julia Hart. Sadly, Blaster Casterberg is also on this show, so we have to unfortunately talk about him. But we can cope. We can absolutely cope with that in a nutshell. Yeah, Collision was good. Collision absolutely was good. I agree. AEW been on a very good run of shows lately. The key thing is carrying on. If they cannot afford to drop the momentum or lose momentum, so they have to keep that going. Just for that comment alone, Catherine, we are going to take a very, very short interval. Catherine, you punish good people with enjoyment. You absolutely horrific. And Matthew, you're right. We need the sad song, so here it is. Colt puns. A few. I told Brody he should have beat shit down Max's leg for good. Yeah. Ever since first time I saw her in the ring, I was like, yep, this woman's it for me. Since day one. So all I'm going to say about Diona is thank you, WWE, for letting her go. Even long before she got there, like, I'm just glad that she left that shithole. Because they never understood her at all. He can keep his hands off. I would make her tap out in a sharpshooter. Just to fold. Anyway, people coming to the arena. We have Harley Cameron jumping about backstage because she's getting on screen, feeling the wrath. We have Chris Jericho, Bandito, and Hologram all backstage, and then we get Tony Storm walking about, shoes in hand, championship across her waist, and she is brutally destroyed by the former champion Mariah May. What? This is a perfect way to start the show. I like this, and I liked the fact that she beat the crap out of her, led her to the entrance ramp, hit the Storm Zero, and then she takes the spotlight and challenges her to a Hollywood ending, which is obviously going to be at Revolution. I love this. This is beautiful, and it's going to end this storyline once and for all. So well done to AEW on that, for producing this well. This has to end, and it's going to end in 2 weeks' time. Hell yeah. 100%. What do you think Brody Lee would have been doing? Do you think he would have been world champion? I think if Brody Lee hadn't passed away several years ago, I think he would have been still TNT champion. I'm not kidding. I think that title was perfect for him and him alone. I would have made him champion for well over. I would have given him a year's reign. Like, I would have still, if he was still alive, he would still be my TNT champion. I don't care. Run through the whole division 100 times over. Like, I would just let her keep wrestling, you know? Like, I think she would be my champion. And Harley Cameron, absolutely, when she clicks, she will get it. But yeah, I would have him 100%. When Harley locks in with Tony on the mic, it's over for the US Women's Division for 10 years. There's just one problem. Harley gets every aspect of what it is to be a professional wrestler. She'll be contending for the TBS in the world. Yeah. Mariah and Tony of the last 15 months have been one of the best storylines in the last several decades. It has actually, because it's just worked. Like, Mariah and Tony, in my opinion, is the best women's feud since Awesome Kong and Gail Kim. And then before that, it was Trish and Lita. And then before that, it was Bull Nakano and Medusa. Yo, Fletch, what's cooking? Your storyline. Story in AEW, there's no such thing. True. But this was a great start to show, and I'm genuinely being honest. Actually, no, hold on, let me scrap that. To be fair, Mickey James and Trish Stratus was also another very good in women's wrestling, so I can't even discourage that. So there's 5. What's up, Maria? You just got here in time for Collision, so you get the Collision side of the review. Mariah May, of course, did attack Toni Storm. She challenged her for a Hollywood ending at Revolution. So she has like her own stuff like on her TikTok, and she does gaming stuff on her YouTube, but she'll be back on here for the Elimination Chamber actually. So don't worry about that. Reece, do you think Prince Nana turns on Swerve and joins Ricochet? Yeah, Swerve doesn't need Nana anymore. Ricochet could be a manager. Long story short, Fletch, I actually suggested this 3 weeks ago. I actually suggested this on the channel 3 weeks ago. So, do I think he will? Yes. Sasha Banks versus Becky in Hell in a Cell was one of the best women's matches ever. Yeah, I think it's just the natural work of the two of them, maybe, but it kind of made it work. I want Hangman to throw Moxley now. It's not going to be Hangman, unfortunately. That's the best you've seen. You still have been let down. I'll give you one match that will save your soul. You should watch Deonna Purrazzo versus Mickey James in a Texas Death Match. Trust me. Yes, I agree. He should win the first one by cheating. Like he should cheat Hangman, the Diamond Ring. You get the C side of the episode. Well, technically correct because it is a show that starts with C. Yeah, he's scouting. Callis wants Gabe Kidd, but he's gonna lose out. He will lose out. But obviously the show does start match wise anyway with the Beast Mortals versus Hologram. You think Sasha versus Bailey is better? Hmm. Will or Swear should take down Moxley? I think it should still be Cope. I still think it should be Adam Copeland, but have Jay White turn on him, and then Christian Cage cashes in the title shot, and then Jay White gets the first title match as a way of helping Christian. The opportunity that Hangman passed on. Uh, Hologram was wild in the year, but Hologram also got hurt badly as well. There's a massive scar on his waist. We do see the elements of it. This he does win, of course, with that rolling combination, but there's a weird dive he does that I can't even put a name on it, but there's a there's a diving move that he did that actually sums up how unique he is. And this match was just fun. It was a good start. Best women's match I ever seen was Yuri versus Utami Hayashishita in 2021. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. That match was really good. I've seen so many great women's matches. Like Bull Nakano is still for me the greatest women's wrestler of all Collision has just been just as Dynamite. Yeah, it has. They've made some effort into improving it, and it's paying off. Bandido's incredible. Bandido is truly special. Hologram wins. Beast Mortal said revenge, of course, attacks him post match. Commander comes out, saves the boy. And we move on. I think. I just can't. It depends on the talent, and I think 90% of the time is harsh. Right. See, I think Tessa Blanchard is a quality wrestler, but there's an intergender match that completely rams this up the ass. The best intergender match is either Chelsea Green versus Penta, or Penta versus Io Sky. They smashed Callahan versus Blanchard, in my opinion. Copeland wins, Jay stabs Copeland in the back, Christian uses the contract, wins Jay to Christian off, and that's what I'm thinking. The hated R superstar Blanchard versus Bianca Belair. You know Tessa Blanchard would still win, right? Like, she would hit Magnum and win in the center of the ring. She would hit Magnum and it's over. Mm-hmm. That was amazing. Lucha Underground was great for giving me that. Same with Chelsea Green versus Penta. That is the match that made Chelsea Green. I don't care what anyone says. That's the one. That will never happen. To be fair, Billy Gunn versus Awesome Kong's another good one. There's one for you. To be fair, Chris Jericho versus China was a good intergender match. And that was a long time ago. Following this as well, Okada backstage, he mugs off Buddy Matthews for beating him in Australia. He's challenged any other bitch to face him for the Continental Championship. Okay, thanks. One of my all-time favorite wrestlers, and he's been reduced to just saying the word bitch. Pathetic. A triple rotation head scissor takedown is the move the hologram used. So think of that. King versus Okada. Okay. Okay. Megan Bain has had some bangers at HOG, yep, and that time is coming to an end as well. Mm-hmm. That's true. And he'll win it, by the way. The important thing about this show as well was JR, Excalibur, and Tony Schiavone were all on commentary, which has not happened in quite some time. Hologram, when it comes to a suicide dive, though, needs to be very careful because he could have really caused damage last night. Apparently, the locker room leader, veteran Phil, was backstage. Yeah, he was. He was. 100%. The problem is JR needs to be used sporadically because he just isn't himself anymore. That's the only letdown with age. But when he calls a match beautifully, it's amazing. Harley Cameron comes out next. Oh, God Almighty! This was absolutely hilarious. This promo was fucking funny. Because oh, God Almighty! what's the nice way to put it? Harley Cameron must have been on crack. Yeah, but it should never have happened. Tessa Blanchard should never have been allowed to compete for the world title. She should have been in the knockouts division only. Like, even myself, I was a fan of Tessa Blanchard. I'm a fan of her work, I'm not a fan of her as a person, but she should never have been competing for that championship. Shelton Benjamin or Adam Cole. But Harley Cameron's promo, some of the stuff she said was just funny how she was talking about dreams of puppets. Big Bill's a good shout. Puppets singing. I mean, Kota Ibushi being the answer would be mild, and that does get something. I just think Kota Ibushi's done. I love Kota Ibushi, but I don't think he'll ever be capable again. You know what I mean? Like, it's just hard. But Omega versus Okada is 100% going to main event in 6 months' time. That is all in Texas. Like, you would be a fool not to think that's coming. It is that will be AEW's best main event this year by a mile. We do have Harley Cameron talking about that we think, who is this person she's talking about? And then she says, it's my neighbor. That had me in stitches. Honestly, that was fucking funny. It looks like it's Stampede. Following this, we get a Collision debut of this demon. Here is your real demon. You have the Butcher. I mean, if you want a real Butcher, there's your Butcher now. Oh, come on. No, I want this one. That's your Butcher right there. Frank Butcher. Up against Gabe Kidd. This match cooked. Like, this match genuinely cooked. Oh yeah, he is a beast. He's already got the match of the year anyway. Nothing's topping Dynasty. Cota's not the level he was, but he is active. I know that. He's just not what he is. It'll be hard to get him into that sort of condition anymore. You know, like all the psychotic stunts have finished him. I don't really miss much for Kota when it comes to matches. I don't think he needs one. I don't essentially think he needs a match at Revolution. There's no point. The only place he should be signed to an AEW pay-per-view match this year is Forbidden Door. Now, you'll catch a straight at Forbidden Door. It'll probably be the most boring wrestler on the planet, but it'll probably be Eddie Kingston. Anyway, the Butcher versus Gabe Kidd. Simply put, he didn't need to bring the Never Openweight Championship, but he proved why he is the Never Openweight Championship. The Butcher, right? Absolutely, he got butchered, but Gabe Kidd's chest. It looks like somebody had actually stuck a knife and carved his skin off. It was wild. Don Callis is watching backstage. He does win with the pile driver. I absolutely love his pile driver. It's perfection. There's no. This is a perfect TV match. You want to get someone over with the crowd, he's already over. Like that was wild. He is already over with that fan base. They will keep close eyes on him, 100%. Potentially. Then World's End, the trilogy match, perhaps, or Wrestle Kingdom, since it's Tanahashi's last show. It would be kind of cool if it's those two again before Tanahashi retires. Following this, we are straight back into action. Julia Hart, she is squaring off with the standing tall, powerful excellence that she is of Queen Aminata, and I think Queen Aminata definitely does need to do a little bit more for herself, but this match really summed up why she's got potential in the world to be a top talent if you back her properly. I liked the presentation of both women. I liked the time they were given. I like that Julia Hart still maintains her mystique before, during, and after a match. She took that elbow to the face like she'd been hit by a sledgehammer. It was beautiful. Like it was what I needed, and I liked it. And yeah, I agree, Stampede. It didn't need that a lot. It was perfectly done. This match does end in a submission victory for Julia Hart. Julia Hart is on the road to redemption with either the TBS or the Women's Championship. She's on that redemption run. She ain't a hound of hell, but the hounds of hell run through her. She absolutely has it perfected. I was quite surprised that she wasn't accompanied by anyone though, but that's okay. The Murder Machines up next. They squashed two kids that nobody really cared about. What they cared about was MVP on the mic after they challenged them for a tag match. They denied them the title, rightly so, because they've not beat a credible opponent. We later find out that's going to be the Outrunners. This should be the Revolution tag match anyway, and the Hurt Syndicate will win. But every time MVP has the mic, he hits perfectly every single time. He's no Freddie Mercury, but he understands the level. And I like that he made a reference to Freddie Mercury. Really well done. We get he is a master, 100%. The guy's excellent. Trios tag team action at the top of the hour. Trios championships are on the line. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that, 100%. We do get Cool Hand Ange, Matt Menard, and TNT champion Daniel Garcia challenging the Death Riders for the titles. simply put, that trio got bulldozed. Oh yeah, he got absolutely zero pop. I mean, I disagree with Bleacher Report here. They said that Garcia was the most over with the crowd. I don't know what drugs they're on, but they're wrong because he ain't. Johan Ange was the MVP of that tag team. Sorry, that trios tag team. If you look at it, he took the most damage. He sold the most for each individual, and he allowed each one of the Death Riders to get their stuff in before he made a tag. Cool Hand Ange actually works really well. I don't particularly think much of Matt Menard, but I do like Cool Hand Ange. Like he has it nailed. It works for me. Claudio, perfect. Pac, excellent. Wheeler Yuta, he needs to be demoted from the Death Riders. Why is there even a trios championship? It's a fall from Ring of Honor. That's all it is. It's a fall on from Ring of Honor. No, he did not. He definitely did a Grand Slam, though. He phoned in for sure. He didn't this time. This was a good match. Pac gets the W with the brutalizer, but then Pac is destroyed by the appearing Undisputed Kingdom, who comes out to save Menard, Ange, and Garcia. Out comes Cope, and well, Cope started with this and finished with this. The death stares he was given was incredible. The death stares he was given, the likes of Moxley and that whole crew, Shafir, Claudio, before he struck Pac with a chair. Wonderful. It's not Yuta slander, he's just on the down rope. Like, it's plain and simple. He needs to be demoted from the Death Riders. It doesn't actually work in this faction. He worked in the Blackpool Combat Club, but it doesn't work with this. It's too aggressive. And he can't get to that level. He can't do it. Yeah, absolutely. The Freebirds, exactly. Freebird rope. But to be fair, it's not even just the Freebirds. It's the Freebirds of Von Erich's Demolition. I finally earned your respect. I'll take that. Thank you, Lark Park. Lark Park, you are number 281. We are 19 subscribers away from 300, so thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I really do appreciate it. And let's just keep up, and that's all we gotta do. This is how it should be, though. It must always be, when it comes to this, no emotion. If you want to live up to the words, I'm going to take you all out one by one, you've got to tear them apart. So I like the fact that he came in and went, fuck you, Pac. No words, just bang. What an amazing role. Something like that. The Outrunners were actually really useful backstage. Thing is, I actually don't have a goal. I don't really have a goal, you know? I just want to keep having fun making this content, because I think when I'm at my best, nobody comes close. There's no disrespect anymore. I bring a different kind of energy, a different way of working it. It just feels fun to me, you know? You can't use that for the tag titles. Yeah, in a way you can. It's kind of that way. I think there's so many titles across the board in wrestling that it has to change up a little bit. Do you think Collision should eventually move on from Saturday as a brutal slot? Yes, I do. I still do. Where you put it, though, is the only thing. I don't know. Exactly. Do you think AJ Styles can sign with AEW when his contract expires? 100%. I think he does one thing first. I think he does TNA one last time first. He does TNA for one more run, then he goes AEW. I think he still has to. I think he wants to honor that. He never got the send off. He never got the send off he really wanted. 5-year contract. WWE has money titles, but not in the main roster. You mean many titles? They have got WWE title, world title, women's title, women's world title, women's US, women's intercontinental, tag team, world tag team, WWE tag team, women's tag team titles. You've got the Speed Champion who's on the main roster. That's 10, including the men's. That's 11 on the main roster, plus NXT. WWE has altogether North American, Women's North American, NXT Women's Champion, NXT Champion, NXT Tag Team Champions. That's about 16, 17 titles. Now they've got the ID stuff. You're going to hit close to 25 titles for WWE in general. So many titles for what? Triple H only cares about the bloodline, exactly. That's true, the Heritage Cup counts as a championship. God almighty. Blaster cast. Yeah, see, roughly about that, 14. If you remove the Speed Championships, it's 14. It's embarrassing. So we have, before we get to Blaster Casterberg, we do have the Virtuoso backstage. Yup. Big Bill, tell your wife to step aside, because Deonna's the star of this room. Not too fair. Lexi in there is phenomenal. Taya Valkyrie and Deonna Purrazzo are backstage. Quick interview. They insult Lexi there. They insult Harley Cameron. That works really well to a degree. The Outrunners agree to face Cage and Archer because they want a title shot as well. Granted. That will change soon, though. Very soon. I can actually see Max Caster's heel gimmick starting to work. He's that annoying heel one, kind of like the Miz was at some point. It is. He's also being used in that position where guys come and wrestle me. I will give you TV time. He is using that spot. He's being used to get other talent over, like Brody King, for example. It's actually effective. I agree. I think there's so many things they need to get rid of. Well, she is wasted for different things. She is a Rev Pro, but you're missing a little thing. She does wear clothes that fit her body better. But you're not thinking of Nia Jax. You're thinking of Nia Jax, pal. AEW need women's tag belts. They don't have a tag team division though. Not unless you start building tag teams. That's the problem. You can't have tag titles for a genuine tag team division. Max Caster comes out to the ring. He says he's got a new challenge. Who's going to step up to challenge the so-called best wrestler in the world, Max Caster. Well, he gets murdered by Brody King. Women's Tag Team Championships have only ever worked in one promotion, and it's TNA. Just saying. Because they had a singles and tag division. WWE hasn't pulled it off. I don't think AEW can either. They lack what TNA didn't. They don't have tag teams. Build tag teams, and then you can have a tag team division. Otherwise, just have generic tag team matches. King wins with the cannonball, which is just, swear to God, that cannonball, he comes down like a truck. Anyone that gets hit with that thing, you're getting blasted. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. Catherine's favorite wrestler versus the coolest luchador in AEW. It's your main event, folks. It's the Nueve, the Learning Tree. Chris Jericho versus Bandito. This. Here's a fun fact. The wrong person won, but it was a very good main event. Brody King should get the Wardlow push when he was. I agree. The fact that CJ hasn't been beaten at stupidity needs to be studied. Yeah. Bandito should have won. I agree. They do work in Stardom, so if AEW were to do the tag titles, have it set up where they're defended anywhere in any promotion, that would work. Jericho actually gave Bandito the main event he needed. And this is what's going to get Bandito to reclaim his championship. This was actually a good match. Yeah, that match was last night, so we're on a new day. So absolutely. I like the fact that Bandito forced him into the Code of Honor. Like, he gave him no opportunity. Chris Jericho was not going to accept the Code of Honor. I like the fact that Bandito forced it in, wrenched him, wrenched that hand and forced it, dragged him in, or stare down. I think the person taking the title of Christopher Judas is Hobbs. Not a bad idea. I wanted to be Bandito, but Hobbs is not a bad shout. I do have one criticism of Bandito, though. I don't like it when he has colourful gear. I like it when he just wears all black. The reason being is because he looks sinister with the all black. When he has colourful gear, colourful gear on Bandito makes him look like a pussy. Like, we know the man's great in the ring, but when he wears colourful gear, he doesn't look serious. I actually think with colourful gear, Bandito works like a pussy. But if you've got him in all black, you fear the bitch. You fear him. He reminds me of Kung Lao out of Mortal Kombat mixed with Smoke. Bandito, of course, pays homage to the Lost Man Eddie Guerrero in this match, a great opponent of Chris Jericho for his career. He hits his version of the frog splash. Really effective. Jericho, any method he can, like heel, eye pokes, back breaks, anything he can do to get an early advantage was null and void for throughout. It was a good match. in the sense that we also got to see Jericho tell the story of Bandito, where he is afraid of Bandito, and they are going to rebuild that in a way. It's smart booking. I do like it. And the best part is there was no Brian Keefe, there was no big build. This is your world champion of Ring of Honor taking on your top challenger, and you do it the best way. You let them fight, man to man. Jericho, he actually does a very good Walls of Jericho counter as well that Bandito didn't prepare for, and I think that shows when Jericho's really focused, Jericho will get you in any way, shape, or form, and he got him good. That counter for the Walls was perfect. I like that they did the pacing of each other again, like the shootout. I thought that was good. We nearly got the Ring of Honor 20 count as well. Luckily, that didn't happen. The moonsault slam though was very scary. That's something that I have to say is a negative on this match though. I think we have to be honest, that moonsault slam where he nearly spiked his head off the mat is dangerous. And yes, Stampede 100%, all black or all white gear 100%. Ops for TNT champ, well, he's already done that. Copeland is taking out every Mox, right? Remember, that's 100%. I guess Willow takes out Marina Shafir. Perhaps, yeah. Beth Phoenix, nah, she'll never appear. Jericho does win with a victory roll counter on Bandito. Lovely, lovely ending. Off topic, but after Timeless, Tony beats May at Revolution, Jamie Hayter should be next and eventually take the championship. No. Sadly, I disagree because Jamie Hayter is not what she used to be. She needs a redux. She needs a redo. Good match, wrong decision. No one was his champion. Correct. I agree, 100%. Collision was an 8 out of 10. Plain and simple. Yeah, he'll drop it at the pay per view. The next Ring of Honor pay per view, he'll drop it, 100%. But that was 3 shows reviewed in 2 hours. So guys, now we'll do this just right. Now it's over to you guys. We are going to go another 15 minutes. So you know what this means. It's question time. And please do like, share, and subscribe. Share this with your friends. Share this with people you know that love pro wrestling. If you want to get involved in the channel, you're more than welcome to. Please do jump in with any comments or questions that you may have. Any topic suggestions, anything you want me to do as a future show, jump them in. Let me hear you. Your voice is my voice. My voice is your voice. And it's always appreciated. Progress killed it. Yes, they did. Yes, they fucking did. Jericho going after the IWGP World title or the GHC World title genuinely makes sense. It does. Jericho's match versus Okada for the IWGP World title was actually one of Okada's best title matches. Thank you, Fernando. Thank you. That is correct. David Francisco's getting the Red Pro push. Portuguese wrestling on the map. Yes, 100%. It's not as British, but it's certainly good. I do like David Francisco. He is good. The British team right now is cooking as well, but Francisco's going to get something good by the end of the year. Speedball, I think hopefully he debuts at Double or Nothing. I think he should be kept away until Double or Nothing. In my opinion. nothing against him that he shouldn't appear. It's just it actually would do him good. Let him be the Joker in the Casino Gauntlet. How does this man keep on becoming world champion? Because of his name, his legacy. Thanks, Fletch. You're a good man. Do you think Steven Regal was better than British Bulldog Davey Boy Smith? Yes, but only because of the injury to Davey. Both of them equally were amazing. That's not going to happen. There's nothing wrong with his wife. Just because you hate her, there's nothing wrong with her. Jesus, Catherine, you're a menace. You are a genuine menace. Speedball is still getting the visa work done. That won't take long. He's been wrestling in the US for ages. That visa will get wrapped up quick. Tony Khan's money will put under the table. Yeah. Tell you one thing. She's another asshole. Yeah, her commentary is not as particularly great, but as a person, she is good and she understands what she's talking about. She's just a bit bland. This woman's not bland though. It's just I think she would be better as a interviewer. I think she's better as an interviewer, not a commentator. Who is in your UK Mount Rushmore? Fuck me, that's a question. Alright, okay. Is it 4 or 5? Because some people do 4 for a Mount Rushmore, some people do 5. That's one way to put it. I do have a UK Mount Rushmore. I just want to know how you guys are defining it. Do you want me to do it as a top 4 or a top 5? Because it is fucking hard. Deonna Purrazzo's better looking than Lexi Nair. And she doesn't need better clothing. Interesting. She's lost weight. She's lost weight. Oh yeah, she still look thicker wise. For me, the UK Mount Rushmore. Davey Boy Smith, Regal, Zack Sabre Jr., fuck, what's it called? Terry Taylor. I was about to look up and then I remembered it's Terry Taylor. Yeah, she's lost a lot of weight. The sad thing is Finn Balor doesn't count. Finn Balor doesn't count on a UK Mount Rushmore. Yes. For me, it was Terry Taylor. His tag team partners were Tajiri, Eugene, and Terry Taylor. The other one was that clown pirate, Paul Burchill. Doug Williams is actually on my Mount Rushmore. Yeah, so that was it. So mine, I'll do a 5. Zack Sabre Jr., Doug Williams, Zack Sabre Jr., Davey Boy Smith, Dave Taylor. That interesting one. Yeah, Dave Taylor. So Doug Williams, Will Ospreay, Zack Sabre Jr., Davey Boy Smith, and Steven Regal. That's my 5. Yeah, sorry, Terry Taylor was the Red Rooster. Yeah, sorry, it is Dave Taylor. I knew it was a Taylor, but I couldn't remember which one. That was a stupid decision anyway, give him that gimmick. I think Doug Williams is probably the best technical wrestler to come from here, from his period. Actually, no, hold on. Scrap that. Scrap that. Steven Regal, Davey Boy Smith, Doug Williams, Will Ospreay, Nigel McGuinness. Nigel McGuinness is leaps and bounds. I think Zack Sabre Jr. is going to get on the list in the next year or so because he's that good. And I know who I'm taking off that list for him anyway. But you can't not include Nigel. The man out-wrestled Kurt Angle in a TNA pay-per-view. Dare I say more. Fair shout. He's had a better year so far than Will Ospreay. I think it's close between Zack and Will, to be honest. It gets very close. It's true. Finley's not UK, same as Finn Balor. I can't include them. That's the sad reality. I can't include Finley and I can't include Finn Balor. They're not from the UK. And don't worry, I'll never include Pete Dunne. He had the chance and he failed. Northern Ireland they're not Northern Ireland, they're Republic of Ireland. Same as Sheamus. Dynamite Kid was incredible. I didn't really get a lot to watch Dynamite Kid. Sadly, I didn't get a lot of him, but from what I've seen, he's incredible. I just think those I've said ahead are maybe just ahead of him, but he did translate to those guys though. I suppose I can just pitch now, actually, make it easier for you. Because I'm pretty... Oh no, Fit Finley's Northern Irish, never mind. Fit Finley could be included. Finn Balor, however, I'm pretty sure he's Republic of Ireland. Yeah, he's Republic of Ireland. So Fit Finley can be included. Fit Finley's a crazy one. It's crazy that they took so long to have him back in the ring. He should never have been stopped from wrestling. But I'm glad that he got at least a US title run. My Mount Rushmore of big guys. Okay. I'll do 5 again for this. So, Undertaker, always. Vader, Bam Bam Bigelow, Bruiser Brody, and Andre the Giant. Kane sadly misses out, but he's a strong contender. So's Abyss. They are strong contenders for me. I've seen a lot more Bruiser Brody matches than I've seen Dynamite Kid, but I've seen a lot of Dynamite Kid matches. Tell you what, I quite like if you've got any more Mount Rushmore questions, I suppose we can do that for like another. We'll go for another 10 minutes if you want. I'm alright with that. I'll gladly do more Mount Rushmore questions. I'm okay with that. We're at 2 hours 15 now, so we'll go until when it says 10:05 here. Do you think David Finlay will ever live up to his dad's legacy? I've got a controversial take. I think David Finlay Jr. has already superseded Fit Finlay. I think he's already surpassed his dad. And I'm a big Fit Finlay fan as well. Like, I think both of them are brilliant, but I think David Finlay Jr. has surpassed his dad. And he did that a long time ago. Stan Hansen's a great one. He's a great shout. The only reason I include Bam Bam is because Bam Bam was so unpredictable. That's what made him special and unique. Vader's just hard hitting. He would kill you if you wanted to. Taker's the best working big man. Andre was mystique and dare I say more. Yeah. Sore. But yeah, if you've got any more Mount Rushmore questions, guys, feel free to jump in and ask whatever ones in particular. It could be anything, like Mount Rushmores of tag teams, Mount Rushmores of who held a particular championship. I'll answer them, and I'm always honest. So you don't have to worry about that. If you were Vince, how would you have handled Survivor Series in Montreal between Brett and HBK? Here's a funny thing. Bret Hart is like my all-time favorite wrestler, but I would have done the exact same thing. I would have done the exact same thing, to be honest. I got a hard one. Enhancement talent. My Mount Rushmore of enhancement talents. Ooh. Diamond Dallas Page. Ooh, that's a good one. That is a hard one. Diamond Dallas Page is one of them. Brian Kendrick, if you know, you know. Al Snow. Yeah, Canyon. Okay, so Mount Rushmore of IC champions, easy. Bret Hart, Razor Ramon, Macho Man Randy Savage, and Chris Jericho. New Japan Mount Rushmore, Nakamura, Tanahashi, Jay White, Okada, Kenny Omega. Ziggler's a good shout. He's a quality shout. Your Mount Rushmore of returns. Okay. Sting's return at Wembley. Undertaker Survivor Series casket. Kane's return with Paul Bearer in 2000. Stone Cold at Backlash 2000. And because I hate John Cena, probably Brock Lesnar in 2012. See, I would have included AJ in there, but for me, he just wasn't there long. Even though he had an amazing impact, I have AJ in a different Mount Rushmore. Mount Rushmore of Bret Hart matches. Bret Hart versus Steve Austin at Survivor Series 96. Bret Hart versus Mr. Perfect at SummerSlam 91. Bret Hart versus Terry Funk in 97. And Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels Survivor Series 1992. Underrated shout, Bret Hart versus 1-2-3 Kid in the main event of Raw in 94. And Bret Hart versus Owen Hart WrestleMania 10. Angle, Styles, Bobby Roode, Josh Alexander. Jeff Jarrett. No. Not for me. It was a great return, but nah. My TNA Women's Mount Rushmore's easy though. Christopher Daniels is an amazing shout. My TNA Women's one is Mickie James, Deonna Purrazzo, the Beautiful People together, and Awesome Kong. Taylor Wilde is another. She gets in the Who Would I Kick in the Sea Mount Rushmore. Christopher Daniels being on there is rightly so. He's my Ring of Honor Mount Rushmore. But in terms of X Division champions, he's in that. I think overall talent, there's better for TNA, but he is rightly there. Kazarian as well. It's hard to leave him out. It's hard to leave out James Storm. Oh, yeah, fucker. Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, Jushin Thunder Liger. Oh, fuck. Jushin Thunder Liger, Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, Ultimo Dragon, and Psychosis. Fuck. Juvito Guerrero. I'm having 6. Juvito Guerrero's on mine as well. I don't care. Those guys were amazing for me. Luchadors are incredibly hard to do, but Jushin Thunder Liger is my favourite masked wrestler of all time. And that's okay though, to be fair, Darius. Younger generation of fans make it easier for different varieties. My Mount Rushmore of world champions. Oh, I hate you. What's up, Rusty? Let's see. Mount Rushmore of world champs. Ric Flair, Harley Race, Bret Hart, Stone Cold, and Kurt Angle. I've already gave that. What would your Mount Rushmore on people who saved a company by them? Who saved a company? Oh fuck! All right. Who saved a company? Kurt Angle, easy. He saved TNA from potentially not being considered important to make. It was Kurt Angle that got him to 2 hours, so Kurt Angle. I have to say Hulk Hogan. He saved WCW, if you look at it. And then technically he did kill it as well, but yeah, so Kurt Angle, Hulk Hogan. Josh Alexander saved TNA completely from going to hell. And yeah, you know Nick Bockwinkel as well, he for AWA. Mount Rushmore of WrestleMania main events. Rock versus Austin 2. Shawn Michaels versus Brett. Macho Man versus Ted DiBiase. Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels. AEW Mount Rushmore, Kenny Omega. Chris Jericho, to be honest, is on that Mount Rushmore. I think he has to be. I think because AEW's only been around for 6 years, it's hard to pick one for them. But instantly, I would say Kenny and Jericho. Hangman Page, I think, has a good shout being on there. Swerve. Christian has a good shout. Yeah, I'll go with this. Moxley, Omega, Jericho, and Christian at the moment. Angle, TNA, yep. Hogan and New Japan, yeah, I agree with them. I think they're excellent shouts. If I had to watch any Christian Savior for TNA in 2005, yeah, technically. Rusty's question, if I had to watch any modern pay-per-view, what would it be? I just got WWE Network, so many options. If you're watching them specifically from that, go for SummerSlam 2002. I still think it's a great shout to watch. I think another great one. All In 2024 isn't as good as All In 2023, if I'm being honest, but it was still fun to be there. If you're watching, like, there's so many. There's so many, to be fair. If you've just got the WWE Network, I would just go to Survivor Series 2002 and chill. Mount Rushmore of ladder matches. Jericho versus Michaels. Easy. Any last decade. Oh. SummerSlam 2016. if it's specifically from the WWE side, SummerSlam 2016. But Mount Rushmore of ladder matches: Michaels versus Ramon, WrestleMania 10. Jericho versus Michaels. RVD versus Jeff Hardy. And Jeff Hardy versus Edge. Who are the Mount Rushmore of indie wrestlers? Michael Oku, Christopher Daniels, AJ Styles, Adam Cole. Undertaker WrestleMania 14. Steve Austin WrestleMania, or just Steve Austin in general. Are you meaning just Mount Rushmore of an exact entrance, or just an individual's entrance altogether? Just to check. If you're looking for any specific entrance, no problem. If you mean just it was a pay-per-view, that entrance, go for it. I just want to know what you mean, Maria, just so I can give you an exact answer. But if I had to say Mount Rushmore of entrances, though, definitely The Undertaker's, Kane's, Bret Hart, because he was the first just to just pull off a cool aesthetic. Kurt Angle and TNA. Alright then, Kurt Angle's TNA entrance debut. Undertaker WrestleMania 14. Kane's original entrance in general. Stone Cold when he embraced the glass shatters, and Kenny Omega when he did the Terminator entrance. Also Okada as well, to be fair. His first when the penny dropped was incredible. Yeah, these are all. Yeah. WrestleMania 35 is a tough watch. To be fair, I would say TNA Hard to Kill 2022 is another great event to watch. TNA Lockdown 2013 is probably the last great lockdown. I don't think it was. I would go one further. I would say it was the Brood. I would say the Brood started it. Then Kurt Angle made it better, and then Cody ruined it. To be fair, TNA's most recent pay-per-view is a great watch as well, to be fair. Mount Rushmore of wasted talent: Mr. Kennedy, Muhammad Hassan, Smash from Demolition, and this one might shock you guys, but if you figure out why I'm saying this, you'll figure it out. And I believe it to be very, very true. Ty Dillinger. What's your favourite match, Mount Rushmore? Okay, I can go with this. Alright, then I can go with this. Well, Rock and Austin, WrestleMania 17, 100% is on my list. Kurt Angle versus The Undertaker, No Way Out. Sting versus Hogan at Super Brawl 98. Bret Hart versus Steve Austin at Survivor Series 96. Shawn Michaels versus Triple H at SummerSlam 2002. Edge versus Taker at WrestleMania. And Okada versus Omega 2 at Free Falls. Favorite wrestling movie? The Iron Claw. I think AJ Styles, to be fair, AJ Styles versus Joe versus Daniels at Unbreakable is still on my list as well. And so is Alexander versus Bayley 60-minute Iron Man match. They're in my list as well. And the Ultimate X match that was for Suicide versus Consequences Creed versus the Motor City Machine Guns. Cody's best ever match. Undertaker versus Mankind is also up there. Mount Rushmore feuds, Taker versus Mankind. Flair versus Sting. Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels. Rock versus Hogan. Styles versus Angle. And Samoa Joe versus Kurt Angle as well. Jeff Jarrett versus Kurt Angle is a crazy one as well. Top 3 wrestling movies. Greatest triple threat of all time. Nothing's better than that in my opinion. Top 3 wrestling movies. Iron Claw. I didn't think The Wrestler was that good. With Mickey Rourke in it. I didn't think that was good. Fighting with My Family is quite good. I think as good as it is, it also gets highly overrated as well. Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio is a great feud. No Holds Barred, yeah. You can fuck off. I think Stan Hansen versus Bruiser Brody is another one as well. Hogan versus Savage is another. Or Hogan versus Piper. Mr. Perfect versus Bret Hart as well. Bret versus Owens, the best brother versus brother feud. Hogan versus Andre Saturday's main event is crazy. That was a great swerve. To be fair, I think Jim Cornette versus Jim Cornette versus Vince Russo is another funny one. I'll take a couple more questions and then I'll leave at 2 hours 45 like I did last night, because we're at 2 hours 42. Scaffold matches were way before their time and good. Scaffold matches should never have happened, in my opinion, because it nearly ruined Jim Cornette for life. Scaffold matches are the only matches I actually disagree with, including the all barbed wire rope match that got banned from ECW. That was just too far. I think they should never have went that far. I'm glad that match got banned. So, to be fair though, I actually do like the barbed wire massacre from TNA. They actually made those matches fun. Like Abyss versus Sabu, especially in the first one. Jesus Christ. Worst booking decision. Cena winning the title at WrestleMania 21. Cena winning Money in the Bank. Brock Lesnar beating the streak. Finger poke of doom. Kevin Nash beating Goldberg. Sergeant Slaughter beating Ultimate Warrior. Cena beating the Nexus, 100%. Anything to do with the bloodline. Yep. And Orange Cassidy winning any championship. Oh, and Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble with Vince McMahon, the two worst Rumble winners. Ugh. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I'm going to get out of here. This has been a fun show. You guys have been cooking tonight. It's been phenomenal. Death Riders, potentially, depending on how things go, it's a possibility. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys. I will see you all tomorrow for another show. You guys are the best. Like, share, and subscribe. Share with your friends and family. Anyone that loves wrestling that you know, send them our way. We can have some fun. But in the meantime, I will see you all tomorrow. And Fernando, thank you. I appreciate it. In the meantime, God bless. Check out Covey on TV, Graps TV, and the Mid Podcast. If you guys have got any podcasts as well, drop them in for next time and I'll shout them out. But in the meantime, good evening, good night. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Bye, guys.